Have you ever bought something online and just had a weird feeling about it? Well, we're going to follow one of those purchases right down the rabbit hole. And what we find, well, it exposes this whole hidden world behind the curtain, connecting simple online scams to, believe it or not, the very core of how AI works. So, where does this all kick off? A Reddit post, of course. Someone was looking for a little guidance. And what they felt they got was a total high-tech scam. But here's the thing. This story isn't really about tarot cards. Not at all. It's a doorway into a much, much bigger question. I mean, think about it for a second. So much of what we do online is like this digital box, right? We put something in. Maybe it's a search on Google, maybe you buy something, or you ask an AI a question. And poof, something comes out. But what the heck is going on inside that box? And more importantly, can we actually trust what comes out of it? Okay, let's dive in and see. All right, first stop on our journey, the digital magic box. This is any service that promises you something really personal, maybe even a little mystical, but what you get back feels, well, cold, automated, and kind of weirdly familiar, right? So our friend on Reddit, they're going through a rough patch, and they decide to try a tarot reading on Etsy. They pick these highly recommended readers, but the predictions, they were just wrong over and over. The replies felt super generic, almost robotic. But you know what the real giveaway was? They got a full page of text, an entire A4 page, in less than 30 minutes, for only $6. I mean, come on, that just screams automated, doesn't it? And that's the thing, right? There's this massive gap between what was promised and what was delivered. This person was looking for a real human connection, for some kind of genuine insight. But instead, it felt like they were just talking to a machine. Like a script that's been designed to sound human, but there's just nothing there. Okay, so this whole thing brings up a really fascinating question. If that little Etsy box is just some simple AI script, then what's powering the really advanced stuff, the big AI models we hear about all the time? Well, it turns out it's not just a bunch of code. It's people, a huge invisible workforce. These are the real ghosts in the machine. Let's put a face to this. This is Joe. Now, Joe isn't a scammer. He's what's called a ghost worker. He's based in Nairobi, and he's one of literally thousands of people who are the unseen trainers for systems like ChatGPT and even self-driving cars. So, what does a day in the life of a ghost worker actually look like? Well, Joe might get a short video clip, something from a self-driving car. And his job is to painstakingly, pixel by pixel, label everything in that clip. Every car, every person walking, every single bike. It's mind-numbingly tedious work. And get this, a single short clip can take him up to 8 hours to complete. And here's the kicker. For that 8-hour job, Joe might get paid just $10. That works out to about $1.25 an hour. Now, this isn't a scam in the same way the Etsy reading was, but man, it pulls back the curtain on the real engine of the AI economy. That magical feeling we get from AI, it's often built on the back of this super low-cost, totally invisible human labor. It's just another kind of box, isn't it? A whole lot of human effort goes in one side, and what looks like effortless AI magic comes out the other. So you've got to be asking, why is this work so important? Why can't the machines just, learn this stuff by themselves? Well, the answer comes down to one of the most fundamental rules in all of data science. It's all about something called data cleaning. See, before an AI can learn a single thing, the raw data it gets is a total mess. It has to be scrubbed, organized, and fixed. And that's exactly the work that people like Joe are doing. They're taking all this chaotic, real-world information and turning it into something clean and orderly that a machine can actually understand. Because here's the golden rule, and it's pretty simple. Garbage in, garbage out. If you train an AI on messy junk data, you're going to get a messy junk AI. The quality of what comes out is 100% dependent on the quality of what goes in. It's really that simple. And this is exactly why data cleaning is the absolute foundation of AI. It makes sure the data is accurate, so the model is actually learning about the real world. It makes things consistent, so the AI understands all the different ways data can be represented. And it makes the whole system reliable, so the patterns it discovers are real, not just random noise. Honestly, this is where trust in AI begins. Okay, so we've established that we need this super high-quality, human-cleaned data to go into the box. But with the most powerful AI we have today, something really weird happens. The box itself becomes a total mystery, even to the people who built it. This is what we call black box AI. Think about something like ChatGPT. We can see the prompt we type in, and we can see the answer it spits out. But the stuff in the middle, the ridiculously complex web of connections that gets from A to B, it's so intricate that how it actually decides on an answer is, well, it's a complete mystery. And this leads to a huge trade-off in the world of AI. On one hand, you have these black box models. They're insanely powerful, but they're really hard to trust because we have no idea what's going on inside. On the other hand, you have white box models, sometimes called explainable AI. They're way more transparent, but they're just not as powerful. So developers and users are constantly forced to make this choice. Do you want raw performance, or do you want to actually understand how it works? This is where things can get really dangerous. It's called the clever Hans effect. It's named after this horse way back when, who everyone thought could do math. But it turned out he was just reading his owner's subtle body language. He wasn't doing math at all. Here's a modern real-world example. An AI was built that got incredibly good at diagnosing COVID from chest x-rays. Amazing, right? Well, the problem was it wasn't looking at the lungs. It had actually just learned to spot the text annotations that doctors put on the x-rays of patients who already had a positive diagnosis. It was getting the right answer, but for a totally wrong and completely useless reason. So, look where we've gone. We started with a sketchy Etsy purchase that led us to the ghost workers powering the AI economy. And now we're staring into the mysterious heart of AI itself. It leaves us with a really big critical question. How are we supposed to navigate a world that's increasingly full of these incredibly powerful but totally opaque digital boxes? Well, the answer is, we have to start demanding better boxes. What does that look like? It means we need strong AI governance, rules of the road for safety and ethics. It means we have to invest in that explainable AI so we can build models we can actually understand and trust. And it means creating responsible frameworks that make things like fairness and transparency a priority right from the very beginning. So at the end of the day, whether we're talking about an Etsy reading, a recommendation from an algorithm, or an answer from a chatbot, the principle is exactly the same. None of this stuff is magic. It's all a product of data, of human labor, and of code. And just knowing that is half the battle. The most important thing we can do is just stay curious and stay critical. So the next time one of these boxes gives you an answer, I want you to ask yourself, what's really inside?